Hi guys, I think I'm live now. Just let me know if you're able to hear me, see me. Otherwise, hi Uday. Hi everyone who is joining us. Okay. I'll be answering all of these questions. Do write in whatever you want to ask, and whatever like 30 sec has put, I'll be answering all of them. So don't worry. I'll be answering all of these questions soon. So good to see all of you guys who have joined us. Good to see, good to have all of you over here. Those who are joining us, I would request you to please like the stream and share the stream with whoever is preparing for CAT with you. If you are preparing, if any of your friends is preparing for CAT, please do let them know about this stream. Please like the stream. It helps us reach more students and it helps us have more of these streams as such. Hi Shweta, hi Uday, hi, good to see all of you guys over here. And I'll be answering all your doubts, all your questions about how to prepare for CAT, what is the strategy you should prepare, use to prepare for CAT. Whatever specific questions you might have about your preparation, please put it over here. I'll be going through a preparation strategy that I know has worked, that I know will work in the long run. Okay. So good to see all of you guys. Hi Utkarsh. And those who are joining us, I would just request all of you to please like the stream and please share the stream. It would mean a lot to us if we are able to reach more students. Okay. Hi Sneha, hi Sahil. Good evening all of you. And what I would want you to do is, as much as possible, I'll try to answer all of your questions, whatever doubts you have about preparation. So please do write in whatever doubts you have, just put it in the chat and I'll try to explain and answer as many of the doubts as possible. So about this particular session, what you are going to do in this particular session is I'm going to help you set the goal for CAT, how to prepare for CAT. You have 7 months left and I want you to have a clear path to the CAT day as such. I want you to visualize what you're going to do month on month, what you're going to do from now until CAT, so that you do not waste a single day of this 7 months. 7 months is more than enough, provided you use it effectively. A lot of people believe that, okay, I'm starting early. They start with a lot of enthusiasm at 7 months, but then they kind of, the enthusiasm fades and then they lose track of their preparation. So I want you to enact certain discipline, certain things right now, to keep in mind certain things right now, so that you do not lose track, that you stay on course from now till CAT day. So good to see all of you. Hi Indu, good evening. Good evening Sahil. And all of those who are joining, please like the stream. It would mean a lot to us because it would motivate us to hold more of these streams. We try to hold as many of these streams as possible because it we know that having that kind of personal connection and having somebody answer all your doubts can make a lot of difference to students' preparation. So please do like the stream and we'll try to do more of these in the future. Okay, so let's get started. Nandini, will the course be sufficient to crack CAT? So Nandini is asking, would she crack CAT if she starts now? Absolutely yes, and the course would be sufficient to crack CAT. See, remember, 7 months is sufficient, 6 months is sufficient. What changes basically is that every month the amount of hours needed per day goes up. So if you start 7 months from now, 2 hours would be more than sufficient, but you have to put in 2 hours every single day from now on till CAT. 2 hours isn't a whole lot. If you think of it, 2 hours is not a lot of time that is required from a student. But if you consistently put in those 2 hours, you're sure to CAT. And it's all about consistency, regular studying as such. So I will be answering all your doubts, Shubham. Okay. Best of luck, Shubham, and I know that if you use the course, if you study regularly, consistently, I'm sure you'll crack CAT. All of those guys who are looking to actually get a detailed study plan, I'll tell you about the complete Kraku course, which is basically the batches that we have. We have a 7-month batch starting, which started Monday actually. So we have, today actually, we have a batch starting today, and this batch essentially is a 7-month batch which gives you a daily plan from now on till CAT day, so that every single day you get tasks to do. You are told that, okay, watch this video, take this concept test, watch these videos, and essentially you get a guided guided study plan till CAT day. The whole point behind this study plan and of this kind of 7-month plan was that we want to make sure that you cover the entire portion, you do not miss any portion, you get adequate practice, and you keep focused till from today till CAT day. So please do check out our 7-month batch. It starts today, so it's not too late. Please, you can still join today. So please do check out our 7-month batch starting today. It is the most time saving and the most effective way of cracking CAT. Okay. Hi, 32nd. If you are looking for any, if you are somebody who has given CAT before and have had a decent score, or even if you are a good student previously with good scores, please do write into us at support@cracku.in. We do have scholarships for good students as such. So please do write into us and we'll try to see if we can help you with a scholarship if you have already done well in CAT or you have had good 10th, 12th scores. Okay. And how many hours do I need to prepare if I enroll for CAT which started today? You will need around 2 hours. Essentially, we try to make sure that all of the days are equally packed. So it's not too heavy on one day and not too light on one day. On an average, it roughly is about 2 hours every day. And that includes watching videos, which is about 1 hour-ish or less than 1 hour, and also includes practice of questions. So you have concept tests to solve, you have other study room goals to solve. So essentially we want you to put in some effort every single day from now on till CAT day. Okay, so please do check out our 7-month batch. Now let's start with the goal setting. See, the most important thing that you should do when you're starting your preparation is that you should visualize you cracking CAT in this particular year. So you're setting the goal that CAT 2022 I'm going to crack. Come November, I am going to be fully prepared. I will have completed the entire CAT portion. I would have revised many times and I would have solved a lot of questions based on this particular from the syllabus. So you are committing to learning and practicing before the D-Day. You have to set your goal. The first thing that I always ask students to do is to get their schedule right. So we provide you what to do, but you have to decide when to do it and how to do it. So the first thing that you should get right is the setting of your preparation. Get a desk ready or a study area ready, so that every single day that you know that you're going to go here and sit here, calm down, focus on CAT, focus on learning, focus on solving, focus on practicing, and also get your daily schedule in check. So you need around 2 hours every single day, right? So you should carve that out from now on. So you should say that, okay, 8 to 10 or 7 to 9 before dinner, I come back from office, I have the time from 7 to 9. Every single day I'm going to spend working on CAT. Or if you are an early riser, you can say that before going to work from 6 to 8, I'm going to actually work on CAT. If you carve out those 2 hours from now on, you can make sure that you remain consistent. Generally, see, if you were doing your 10th or 12th or any other serious exam, the last serious exam that you actually gave, this was generally done for you by your coaching classes. Your coaching classes would demand that you get up very early, 6 a.m. to go to the coaching class to study and sit and study for an extended period of time. But that is not something that you are doing anymore. You are a grown-up student, and that means that you internally have to set that schedule. You internally have to realize that I need a place to go to and a time to go to, and I should have a set schedule every single day, that I will sit from this hour to this hour and I'll learn and practice every single day for a couple of hours. Okay, so get that ready. It is extremely important, because what often happens is that a lot of students start off their preparation well, but after some time if your schedule is haphazard, some days you will see the videos, some days you won't, some days you will get time to solve the concept test, some days you won't, and then you start getting behind in the schedule. And that also acts as a deterrent, in which case you feel that I'm not able to catch up, I will come back later, or I'll get to a different batch or something like that. Try to keep up with the schedule as much as possible, and the only way you can actually really do that is having a proper study area and a proper study schedule. Get that right, and I'm sure, absolutely certain, that you will crack CAT. The second thing that I would be very, very insistent is that keep a printout of the schedule in front of you. If you're joining our batch, that schedule is there in front of you. You have that schedule on your batch page. So if you have joined our 7 months batch, if you go to the batch page, you see the batch schedule, right? And you also get a PDF of the schedule. take a printout of that PDF. It is extremely important that you take a printout of the PDF and put it in your study area. So every single day that you have done your job, you put a tick in it. It gives you a lot of sense of purpose, of direction when you see yourself advancing. If you feel that, okay, every single day I'm moving forward, you are far more confident, you are far more focused, you feel that your things are going properly, and that confidence is also important for from the exam perspective. So please do take a printout and put the PDF of that printout in the study area. Very, very important. And what I do is either mark on this directly, every single time you finish a particular task, just mark on it, or in a calendar, keep a crosser every single day that you have actually kept with the schedule. Because this is something that I have learned, a calendar hack, which is called the Jerry Seinfeld trick. What essentially Jerry Seinfeld said was that people asked him that how did he manage to become such a successful comedian, and he said that he had a very simple way of maintaining consistency and maintaining his like keeping on track. Basically, he used to keep a calendar in front of him, and every day that he wrote a joke, he could write a cross in it. So he felt that every day would be productive, and the longer that chain of crosses became, the more motivated he felt to make sure that he doesn't break that chain. So basically what you do is you keep that calendar in front of you every single day. As you finish your tasks, put a cross in it, and as that chain becomes longer, you feel more and more motivated not to break that chain. So you will feel very good if you have made sure that you have studied every single day of the month. If you see a cross on every single day of the month, you're going to feel very good about yourself. So do that. Keep the PDF of that like the schedule in front of you. Even if you are actually not part of the batch, you can still get the PDF. So please do go and check out our 7-month batch. The PDF will be there. At least take a printout of the PDF. What we have done is basically we have given you a schedule of how to go about each single task. So we'll tell you that on the first day, do this task of arithmetic. Do this. See videos on profit and loss, see videos on interest, compound interest, simple interest. And the reason why we have actually done that is basically we have the task, your portion is huge, but it becomes easier if you break it down into small pieces. So we give you these small pieces every single day to do, so that the task is easier. It is not overwhelming. You don't suddenly feel that, okay, I have to solve 2000 questions. Then you feel that, okay, this cannot be done. But if I tell you, you have to solve 5 questions and watch one video, it is far more doable. You will not get overwhelmed. So that is the first thing that we do. We break that task into smaller tasks, into easier to do tasks, so that you don't get overwhelmed with what you have to do. The second thing is that we are also following the schedule according to what makes sense from CAT perspective. So what we put up top front is things that are very fundamental to doing well in CAT. So arithmetic is very high on the schedule. Reading comprehension is high on the schedule. Arrangements, basic forms of puzzles, LRDI sets are very high in the schedule, because that is something that you should start off. So that forms the foundation of all your mock attempts. You start off from there and you continue practicing as time goes on. So you learn that first and you practice with each mock, with each test, with everything. So it is built according to logic as well as what would actually work for a student. So whether you are actually taking the batch or not, if you're joining our 7-month batch, the task is easy for you. If you're not joining it also, please go and take the printout of that PDF, because it will guide you on how to actually do this, how to make the task easier for yourself. Okay, I will just answer a few questions. Okay, so Anusha Reddy is asking, how will I get our doubt solved? So we have a very good doubt solving facility. You can ask a doubt right below every question, every single question in every mock, in the study room, in the concept test, wherever it is, you can ask a question right below that, ask a doubt right below that question, and we'll answer the doubt. You can ask any doubt on any concept video. We have a very streamlined doubt solving facility. And not only would you get answers to your doubts, you can see what other students have also asked. So we have doubts ranging from 3, 4, 5 years. And you see that, okay, other students also had this kind of doubt. What worked for them? You will see answers, students answering each other, giving explanations to each other. So this is also a way in which peer-to-peer learning often occurs. We have our experienced faculty answering all of these. But you will see a long history of learning where people have actually gone and seen videos and had doubts, not been able to understand it. So often that the doubts also helps people, a lot of people understand many things that they couldn't understand through the videos or through the question explanation, because the doubts in kind of break down any kind of mistakes in understanding that any student might have. So our doubt solving platform is very, very effective. Please do check it out, and it would actually help us, like if you see that doubt solving, you will realize that as you go on, each time you answer a doubt, if you ask a doubt, your understanding of the topic becomes deeper. Okay, I'll request everybody who is joining us, thank you firstly for joining us. I would request everybody who is joining us to please like the stream. It helps us quite a bit in reaching more students. It would motivate us quite a bit in doing this. I see more people who have joined the stream than likes on this video. So guys, please like the video. It would help, it would motivate us to do more of these streams. Okay. So Anubha is asking, I have an interview for a college next month. If I clear it, I would join it. But just in case I am unable to, I want to start CAT preparation again. Anubha, I would suggest that check out. What I would say is that for now, start with your free preparation. Start with the goal setting. Start with giving basic free mocks and other things. Because even if you don't want to commit to a course, you should not delay the starting of your preparation. Another thing that you should think of is that if you wait till the result comes out, if it is delayed, you are going to end up with lesser time for your preparation. So start with the goal setting now. Start with whatever preparation that you can have. There are, for example, Krakow has 3 free mocks, okay, absolutely free CAT mocks that you can give. Also, we have all the previous year's papers in mock format. So there is a lot of free content that you could use, previous year's CAT papers in mock format. There's a lot of free content that you could use to actually continue to learn. We have a lot of videos on this channel. So if you don't want to commit to a course until you get that result, that is fine. But do not delay your preparation. Start your preparation now. Okay. I work alongside preparing for CAT and manage to finish the task and the test, but I can't make time to solve questions from topics that are in the study room. Do you have any suggestion? See, basically, Arunika, we know that initially when you are actually starting up, it is difficult to actually go to the study room and solve study room questions. So what we do is, as you go further along in your preparation, when your the videos become more like secondary in nature, where it is building on existing concepts as such, there we start adding study room goals. But I would also suggest that not wait only for that. You have the weekend with you. So you should have 2 goals on weekends. Taking previous year's CAT papers. If there's a mock in that particular mock window, you should take the mock, or you should do study room goals. So you do not have tasks on Saturdays and Sundays, right? So Sundays should be the time you should either be solving previous year's papers or solving study room questions. If you have a mock, you should be solving a mock. So that is when you basically catch up with all the pending tasks or with your study room goals as such. Okay, so Siddhant, don't worry, I'll get to how to actually get better in the VARC section, how to not get lost in that. I'll come to that. But don't worry with it. See, if you are good at 2 sections, you are already having a fairly decent start. You have to now focus on the VARC section, and I'll tell you how you can get better at it. Do not worry about it. Stay at it. Do not take your mock scores at heart. Honestly, if you feel that the mock scores that you're getting now will determine the mock scores on CAT day, your CAT score, that is not true at all. There is a huge improvement that occurs from here till CAT day. Every single mock that you take is a jump forward. So do not look at where you're starting off. Just remember that you have to keep jumping forward. That's it. Do not worry about, or do not take these mock scores too hard. And especially, I would suggest that people please start taking mocks. Our first mock, DashCat 1 is out. All the previous year's papers are also out. Please start taking mocks. It is extremely important that you take mocks regularly. Even if you get low scores initially, it doesn't matter. because it tells you how far along you are. If you have no idea, if like for example, if you are have a if you're looking at losing weight or any kind of goal you're setting, the first thing that you have to do is weigh yourself, right? This is basically taking stock of where you stand today. Whether your mock scores are good or not, it doesn't matter. You need to know where you stand today before you know whether you're not how you can move forward. So please start taking mocks. It's important that you take mocks regularly. Okay, now one more, I'll take one more question and go back to this where I can 7-month schedule PDF. We'll actually Nimish, it's just below your chart, just try to download from there. Okay. I am afraid, Prince, you need to at least pass 12 standard. You can't actually take the CAT without a 12 standard and a degree, so you need to actually have done that. Target should be to practice more questions from study room or give them more time to solve per question. More time to solve per question. See, basically, I would suggest keep taking the 15 minutes time test. So you have 5 questions and 15 minutes. Accuracy is initially very, very important. As in, you should try to maximize how many questions you get right. Once you get the accuracy down, then you can work on improving the time taken per question. But between accuracy and attempt rate, the first thing that you should get is accuracy. If you get up to 80% accuracy, then it is high enough. Then you can try to focus on your attempt rate. How do you get to solve more questions after you have reached 80% accuracy, but not before? Okay. So let us, the third thing that I will actually say is that about from the desk area schedule. See, remember when you're preparing, initially when in your 7-month course, whether it is the course, whether whatever it is, the learning pattern is generally like this, okay? Initially, your time will be spent on learning new things, learning new concepts. You will be seeing a lot of videos. But as you move on, the focus tends to shift more towards practice, and that will also come in the type of videos we put in the 7-month batch. So in the 7-month batch, in the later videos, we put more videos on practice oriented concepts. So like videos specifically on informative RCs rather than basic videos of how to approach an RC. We give more practice oriented videos later on. So essentially you have to remember, when you start off your preparation, that is today, you have to focus more on learning. But as you get closer to CAT day, there has to be a shift where the time, if you are spending 80% time learning and 20% time practicing today, it is going to shift slowly till the point of time where you are doing little bit of learning, little bit of concept videos, etc. But a lot of practice. You have to solve a lot before CAT day, and that shift has to gradually occur as you are moving towards the CAT day. Remember, we give you a lot of videos, we solve a lot of questions in the videos, but you have to remember that mostly what is going to make you better at giving CAT is you solving yourself. Unless you practice, unless you solve questions, you are not going to get much better. So whenever when you are seeing our videos, I want you to pause and actually solve the question that we are solving. If you manage to solve that question, you can just skip ahead. If you're not able to solve the question, then you can see how we have to solve it, how you have to actually solve it, and that will actually enable the process of learning. As you go through the course, you will be able to solve more and more. That's the whole point. I want you to be able to solve. I don't want to just tell you how to solve a question, but I want you to learn how to solve. So initially, most of the starting videos, you might not be able to solve by yourself, but that is fine. But the point is that as you go towards a CAT day, by the time that the concept videos are done, every concept video, when you come to the end concept videos, you should be able to pause, solve all of the questions that are there on your own, and then you should be able to skip ahead all those parts because you already know those concepts, you already know how to solve. The big focus always should be that at the end, you should learn how to solve. You should be able to solve, you should be able to practice all of these questions, not just passively seeing other people solve. The objective always should be that whatever you see, whatever you learn, whatever anybody is teaching you, you should make sure that I should be able to do that, not just seeing others do it. Okay? Okay. Is helping in father's business considered as experience or not? Sheetal, I don't think it would be considered. You can write that, but it would not be considered by the faculty as this, especially if you are not able to provide proper work experience certificate and there is no salary. If you are not able to give salary details, it really won't count as work experience. Okay, previous year RC and writing the Hindu summary daily sufficient to get RC. Accuracy in RC, I'll come to that, Yusuf, but I'll move forward so that now you know exactly how to move forward. Get the desk done. Today I want you to get your study area up, the schedule printout downloaded, and 2 hours carved out every single day. Please get these 3 things done, and that is the general advice that you would get. If you get this right, it would be, even if you are not able to practice for a few days because of exams or whatever, you would still be on track if you get these 3 things right. So get them right today. Now let's get to the important topics. Let's start with Quant. Okay, see, remember, whenever you are actually preparing your 7th month schedule, the way we prepare the 7th month schedule is that we make sure that you get the big topics in first. So if you think of your CAT attempt, if you think of your CAT syllabus, the Quant syllabus, there are, like, say, big rocks, there are smaller rocks, and then there is sand. If you put sand in first, if you put the smaller rocks in first, you will see that the big rocks don't really fit. What you should instead do is you should always put the big rocks in first, then the smaller rocks, and in between the spaces you should put in the sand. Now what does this mean for your CAT attempt? What this means for your CAT attempt is that you should get in the big rocks of arithmetic and geometry in. These individually, arithmetic is about 10 to 14 questions every single year, and geometry is also 3-4 questions. With the shortened format, it is, say, 10 questions and 4 questions. But even if you think of it, it is still 2/3 of your CAT. Arithmetic and geometry is 2/3 of your Quant section. You have to get it absolutely right. These are the 2 big things you cannot get wrong. A lot of people struggle with geometry, and geometry tends to be on the higher side in CAT. Most of the questions are not trivial, they are very difficult. But arithmetic is generally very easy. So if you are somebody who struggles with CAT Quant, start with arithmetic, get really good at it. Know all the concepts, know all the formulas, and practice like crazy. There are thousands of questions in Krakow study room, solve all of them. It might seem ridiculous to you that I'm asking you to solve thousands of questions, but somebody actually did that last year. We had a student who was weak in Quant, and she literally solved all, like, almost the entire Quant study room. And we used to remember her, we used to know her because she used to ask a lot of doubts. She used to ask doubts, like 4 or 5 doubts every single day. And we used to know that, okay, she is so committed to her goal that every day she is solving so many questions. Whenever she doesn't understand what any particular concept, she used to ask a doubt. And that is how you get better. That was the level of commitment from somebody who felt that because I'm from a commerce background, because I'm not good at CAT Quant, I really need to focus on it. And she did a tremendous job by solving the entire, almost the entire CAT Quant study room. Be that person. Focus, and focus first on cracking arithmetic. If you're somebody who's weak in Quant, focus on cracking arithmetic. It will take you very far very quickly. Okay. It's Shivam, don't worry about who gets easier or who gets harder. Everybody's journey is unique. Focus on your own path, what you have to do to get to IIMs, and you should just focus on what you can do to get into IIM. It doesn't matter whether others have it easier or harder. You just focus on your own path. On CAT day, you have to be able to crack CAT. Okay. It might be the case, but that's not something that you should focus on. For your own sake, focus on your own path. Ma'am, my puzzles are weak, especially ranking puzzle. I want to make it my strength. Any suggestions? Practice, Yusuf. In fact, I would suggest arrangements. I'll come to that. Like I said, for arithmetic, arrangements is the other thing that if you get it right in DILR, you're assured of at least one set in DILR. And given that there are 4 sets, 1 set is like a big thing. So make sure that keep practicing as many puzzles as possible. And we actually have a very formulaic way of going about it. We tell you exactly how to draw it out, how to go through the clues one by one again and again till you actually find the final configuration. So it is one of the most deterministic puzzles that you can solve. Things like games and tournaments, things like enumeration sometimes involve tricks that cannot be taught very easily or cannot be replicated again and again. But not arrangements. Arrangements is like fail safe. If you solve like 10 arrangements questions, the 11th one becomes much easier. So I would suggest you are right on the right track to think that you should want to make it to your strength. It absolutely can be your strength, and that would be the base of your attempt as such. So keep at it. Just keep solving. It is very, very important to solve. Those guys who are joining us now, I would request all of you to please like this stream. It enables us to reach a lot more students, and it enables us to motivates us to hold more of these streams. And if you're looking for a structured way to prepare for CAT, please do check out our 7 months batch today. It starts today. You have not missed anything. So just join the 7 months batch. It gives you a daily schedule to follow. So you don't have to think, what do I have to do today? What questions I have to solve today? You get the videos to do, you get the questions to solve. Everything is laid out for you properly so that you can just focus on the preparation without having to do all of this other things of finding questions, finding videos, or any of the other things. Okay. So do check out our 7 months batch today. So the first thing that you should remember, okay, is work experience important for making into this? Absolutely, it has weight. Basically, they follow a point-based system. Some points are given for your 10th and 12th, some points are given for your work experience, and you can take a look at this with our IIM call predictor and percentile predictor. Basically, there are points based to all of this, and there is a lot of weightage to your CAT score. So whether you have work experience or not, whether you have a good 10th or 12th grade or not, it basically determines how high your CAT score needs to be to crack the college that you want. So if you have work experience, then you can do with a slightly lesser score. If you don't have work experience, you have to work harder at getting a higher CAT score. So it's not something that would eliminate you from getting into IIMs or any of the colleges that you desire. You just have to work harder if you do not have work experience. Okay. So let's okay, Shivam, if it is if you are a PWD student, you would get some more extra time during the exam. You do have reservations in the seats, and definitely it would definitely help you. So I would suggest taking a serious look at it. But also remember, even then you have to still crack the exam. So also focus on doing well, so that you can take advantage of all these whatever is assured to you. You can do really, really well using all of those assurances. Okay, but yes, it is there are positive reservation done for PWD students. So I hope the best of luck, and do take a look at how you can actually what are the like extra time and what are the other things that are involved and given to students who come from the PWD category. Okay, so let's get to the this. So as I said, arithmetic, which is basically time and work, ratio, proportion, mixtures and allegation, profit and loss, averages and percentages, this and simple and compound interest also. These are easy topics, and they will be like say 40% of your CAT Quant section. If you really do well in this 40%, that will be the base or the bedrock of your attempt. Get this right early. So I want you to focus when you are starting your preparation. The first thing that you should get out of the way is learning these things. You should know all the formulae, you should know all the concepts, and you should start practicing today. Essentially every mock from now on. So you will have these mocks regularly, right? So what you will see is that as you keep giving mocks, there will be other things that as your portion gets completed, you will understand how to solve questions on algebra, you will understand how to solve questions on, like, say, number systems and other different things. But the thing that you should remain constant through all of the mocks is that through all of the mocks, you should be able to solve all arithmetic questions, because arithmetic questions are the very base of your attempt. If you don't get arithmetic questions right, your CAT Quant section is not going to go well. So that is the very base of your this. Apart from that, we have identified other things which are easily doable, especially for somebody who struggles in Quant. So arithmetic is one. But there are certain things where even if you struggle in Quant, you can actually do well. For example, logarithms and surds have like 11 formulas to remember. If you mug up those formulas, you will be able to solve all of the questions from logarithms and surds. Similarly, geometry is a difficult topic, but geometry for solids is actually easy, because you have to remember surface area formula and volume formula, and you have to remember that for like 4-5 solids. Necessarily there are some other solids which are less frequently asked, but if you remember for the basics like cylinder, cone, sphere, even if you remember for these basic solids, cubes, etc., you will be able to answer some questions from CAT. So solids, though geometry is difficult, solids in geometry is easy. Similarly, though algebra is difficult, Quadratic and linear equations are easy. So if you're somebody who struggles with Quant, try to get these easy things done first. Get the arithmetic done first, get geometry solids done first, get quadratic and linear equations done first. Venn diagrams are easy, try to do them. See, remember, if you struggle, you should try to take the easier things first, right? If you have like 21 questions, make sure that you do not leave any of the easy of those 21 questions. You might not be able to do something which is very complicated, but there will be 1-2 of those questions. Focus on those, what you can do well first. Now we come to the difficult but important types. So geometry, circles, triangles tends to be difficult, but it is still very, very important. It will at least be 2-3 questions from this, and you cannot skip this topic. You cannot leave geometry. You have to do it, because essentially it is a very, very important topic. You can't leave it. Progressions is also a very important topic. We will get 1 to 2 questions from progressions. Still, it is something which is non-intuitive for people, but it is, again, you have to remember formulas, you have to remember patterns, and if you have good pattern recognition, you will do well in progressions. Permutations and combinations came last year. Generally, it does not come, but it came last year, so you need to know basics of permutations and combinations. Similarly, number systems, you don't get remainder theory questions anymore, but you still get questions from number systems on HCF, LCM. Find which number, 2-digit numbers which satisfy this given condition, how many 2-digit numbers satisfy these given conditions. So all of that still does come. So remember that these are difficult topics, but you can't skip them. Essentially, what I wanted to lay out in these 2 slides is what should be a priority order while even taking the mocks. So your priority order is get arithmetic right, get the easier questions from the harder topics right, get the harder topics which are absolutely necessary right. If you get that in your mind, you will also know how to go about your mock attempt. Do not go sequentially in your mock attempt, that is not necessary. You should actually go, okay, 1 arithmetic I'll solve, 2 algebra polynomial equation I'll skip, 3 arithmetic I'll solve, 4 arithmetic I'll solve, 5 geometry solids, I understand geometry solids, I'll solve. Start taking mocks and start doing this regularly. Starting mocks early is one of the most important steps towards cracking CAT. Do not leave your mocks till September. Most of the students, this is like the most often repeated mistake of students, leaving CAT mocks till September. You will suffer if you do that. Do not leave that till September. Okay. I'll answer a few questions and we'll go to the topic of VARC, what to do and all of that. So, how can we reach out to, okay. Piyush, if you're part of the batch pages, we have a batch interaction. Just on the batch page itself, you can post queries, you can ask questions about preparation, and we are always there to help you. You can also ask during live streams, and we have a lot of live sessions also part of the complete course. So if you're part of the complete course, you will get a lot of chances to ask one-on-one, okay, how to actually do this, how to improve on this. So during the live sessions also you can do that. So Kunal is asking, has converted NMIS Indore, but I'm not sure whether to go for it or reattempt as my marks was also not good. And okay, see Kunal, if you are confident that you can do better, definitely go for it. I will tell you my own story. The first time I gave CAT, I did not crack. I got 99.1, but I did not clear the DILR cutoff. So I didn't get any of the IIM calls, but I converted XLRI. And at that point of time, my parents were on my back to take XLRI. Don't leave XLRI. It's such a good college. But I knew internally that I could do better. So I took a chance. I gave CAT again and I cleared it and I got into IIM Ahmedabad. If you feel internally you can do better, you should go listen to that voice. But you have to back up with action. You have to practice like crazy. You have to make sure that if you take that chance, it is not something that you will regret. So you have to back it up with a lot of practice, with a lot of hard work and studies. You should not just take the risk and believe that things will fall into place as they did earlier. So it's always good to bet on yourself. It's always good to believe that no, I can do better. I can do better than this. I have it in me to do better than this. If you believe in that, also work hard to achieve that dream. Okay. So basically, Garv, you will be covering the most important topics by about August. By September, you have the second order topics like essentially specific forms of progressions, or you will have topics on permutations and combinations. But most of the important topic, like 80% of what is actually asked in mocks, is done by August. Hundreds of RCs better than reading novels for improving RCs? Yes, absolutely. Don't read novels for improving at RCs. I'll tell you what to read from, but don't focus on novels. That is not going to help you. Solve RCs, read from the magazines. I'll give you a list of magazines to read from, but don't read novels. That's not going to help you. So let us, for Quant, what resources to use? Firstly, study plan. It is very important that you have the study plan in place. If you're printing out the PDF also, we are telling you the concepts that you need to cover. So make sure that you ensure all the full concept coverage, all theorems are covered, all lessons are learned, all formulas are learned. If you're actually looking for a concise way to remember the formulas, we have actually a CAT formula book. It's just for 99 rupees. We are also selling it on our Krakow store as well as on Amazon. So it's basically a concise 20-page book with all the CAT formulas. Keep it with you, keep flipping through that book regularly, especially before mocks, because it has all the formulas that are there for CAT Quant. And it is so simple that every single time you go through it, you will remember the formulas. You will not forget any geometry formula, you will not forget any of the progressions formula, nothing. So make sure that your study plan covers all concepts, all formulas, everything. The second thing is that remember that the only way you're going to crack CAT Quant is practice. You have to practice like crazy. Practice, and you have to solve thousands of questions. So you have to go to the study room. Topic tests are your friend. Even if you don't get time to solve topic tests initially, especially if your like the lessons have not been completed, you have not learned the basics concepts, you might not be able to solve many of those topic tests and answer the questions. But as you get around the June, July mark, we'll be giving you study room goals. So make sure that you start solving questions based on the study room goals. So basically the study room goals tell you that please solve 50 questions from profit and loss. And we'll put that over a Saturday or a Sunday so that you have that extra time to do that. Practice is what is going to help you crack CAT, not watching only. If you just watch the video, you will have the knowledge, passive knowledge, but only when you actually apply it by practice will you crack CAT. The last thing that you have to remember is that you have to start taking quant sectionals. This is especially true for somebody who is weak in quant section. If you're weak in section X, you have to take as many sectionals from that section X as possible. We have 15 quant sectionals, 15 verbal sectionals, 15 LRDI sectionals. If you are weak in that particular section, I want you to take all 15 of them. So there are 15 per section, 45 in total. So if you are not able to solve all 45, that is fine. But if you are weak in quant, you should have solved all 15 of the quant sectionals. If you are weak in VARC, you should solve all 15 of the VARC sectionals. That is non-negotiable. Okay. Would BSc Data Science be considered as non-engineer? Yes, it would be considered as non-engineer because your degree is Bachelor of Science. Do I need to refer to Arun Sharma? You can refer to any book that you need. Essentially, you have to sit and solve. So if you have other reference material also, that is fine. We also have a lot of questions. So if you are looking for targeted this, we have thousands of questions you can use. But any reference material essentially which gives you questions is a good reference material. Okay. You wouldn't again, you don't need extra material. If you have access to Krakow, you have all the material that you need at your fingertips. Okay. Kunal, again, this is a call you will have to make, but you can definitely write to us about what your this are. But I don't want to make that call for you because I don't. You know yourself. This is something that you would have to understand for yourself, and a risk you have to take for yourself. Somebody else can't guide you, and it is the earlier you decide start taking decisions for yourself, the better it is for you. I still look back at that moment when I decided not to take XLRI as one of the defining moments of my life. It defined who I was. You should not look at others to take decisions for you. Those are decisions you have to make. Okay. So best of luck, Kunal, and I know you will do it. You will take the right decision. Okay. Okay. So let's get to the next part. Now we'll focus on how to improve in verbal. Okay. So remember, verbal is 16 questions, reading comprehension, 8 questions VA. So the shift is to the weightage is 2:1, which is slightly shifted. Earlier there was a lot more VA. There would be 70% VA, 75% RC, and 25% VA. So more power to VA section now. But what this also means that you should also consider how to practice. I would initially say that just focus on RC, go crazy on RC. But it's not enough to just go crazy on RC. You have to also practice a lot of VA now, because relatively it has more weightage. So you have to also change the weightage of your practice. The first thing that you have to remember is that the base skill. On everything else, the other tools that you have for doing well in RCs, doing well in parajumbles, to doing well in parasummary, the very basic skill is your comprehension skills. So how do you build your comprehension skills? If you have seen any of my videos on verbal ability or RC before, I always stress this: do active reading. What is active reading? You take any passage, any paragraph, any news source, whatever you are reading, and for every paragraph in it, write down the main point of it. Write down in paper, write it down in any language or format you are comfortable with. It need not be formal English, it need not be perfect. The whole process is basically to force you to digest the information and understand the information, and like put out one single line which encapsulates the information. So start doing active reading. It is extremely important. And somebody asked me what to read. Should I read novel? Should I read this? Should I read what? So basically in this I've given you some good sources that you can read. It's important to read essays. It's important to read passages. So basically an RC is around 500 words, but most essays are like 1000 words, 2000 words. But the point is that when somebody writes an essay, they take their time to build a point. Every paragraph has a point. The author is writing with purpose. It's not just reporting. So when you read a normal news report, they are just reporting what happened. Okay, this person did this person held a press conference, he gave out these statements. There isn't a whole lot of meaning in behind this. So news reports are not good forms for passages. What are good forms for passages? Where are writings where the author has thought a lot and is trying to make something. Is either trying to inform the reader, is trying to convince the reader, is trying to persuade the reader. It's basically motivated writing, and that motivated writing you will generally be found in essays. So I've given you some essays. One more thing, I see a lot of people who are joining us. Please like the stream, guys. It would help us a lot while holding more of these. It will motivate us to hold more of these streams. And those who are joining us, please do check out Kraku's 7-month batch. It starts today, and it's like a step-by-step program for cracking CAT from now till CAT day. So basically what I would suggest is that when you're doing active reading, when you're asking for what should I read, remember what is actually asked in CAT. And you, if you're practicing RCs also, you will get a good mix of different subjects. But generally what is asked in CAT is these days is informative RCs. RCs on art, literature, languages, culture, history. RCs which are based on science, so biology, chemistry, physics. RCs based on culture, popular culture, news, opinions, persuading RCs. So basically what you see is that you get a good mix of different sources. So I try to give you a different mix of sources for reading also. So if you are somebody who likes to read popular news, you can read The Guardian and New York Times. It gives you a lot of current information, which is also very important from the perspective of cracking the interview stage. But these are generally not deep dive essays. The deep dive essays come from other sources. So for example, Aeon essays have very nice long essays on a particular idea or topic, and they are very wide ranging. They go from linguistics to like science, hard science also. So you get a good exposure to different types of essays. You also have Wait But Why, which is they have comics and they have like line drawings and all, but it also has some deep discussion of topics often, and all of their like whatever paragraphs are written, they require you to think. That should be the basic requirement of what you read. Whatever you read should require you to think. The reason why I said no novels is because novels don't. If a novel requires you to think, then it's a good novel. That's good reading material. But if it's something like Chetan Bhagat, which you are consuming without thinking, without reflection, then it's not going to add a lot of value. I'm not saying that he is not a good author or anything of that sort. I'm just saying that it is of entertainment value, but not of study value. Anything that you are reading should ensure that you are reflecting on it, that you are thinking about what is being said. That is very, very important. Okay. How effective is it for cracking CAT? I have also no clue how to proceed further with Kraku. Daily targets are very, very important because they are essentially making sure you practice every single day. But what they lack often is the structured way of completing the concept coverage. So if you already are somebody who has given CAT before, you have excellent hold on the concepts, you know all the formulae, then daily targets are enough, because you can just revise those formulas as needed and just keep practicing through daily targets. But if you do not have a very good hold on the formulas, concepts, etc., then you should follow the 7-month batch. Essentially, we tell you every single day what concepts to watch, what concept tests to take. So we are that batch or the study plan ensures concept coverage. Daily target is practice. It is daily practice that ensures that you stay in the habit of solving. So learning and practice both are important. They are extremely important parts that together work. So if you just do practice, that you can do if you already know things, if you have already learned. If you have not learned anything, focus on that first. But if you have already done that, daily target would help you. If you have given CAT twice before, thrice before, you know all the formulae, you know all the concepts, then daily target would be all that you would need. If you have certain blind spots in your concept coverage, go to the study plan, cover the entire portion, so that there is no reason why you should not be able to solve other than lack of practice. Okay. Shivani, how do I prepare for the quant section of the SNAP exam? See, SNAP exam quant section is slightly easier, but the same concepts actually apply. So arithmetic still is required. Basics of time, speed, distance, time and work, all of those are actually still more very important from even the SNAP perspective. So just for SNAP, just see the previous year's paper, see the type of questions that come, and most of it is actually very similar to CAT in terms of concept coverage as such. So make sure that you understand those concepts, you know the formula involved, and then keep practicing from those sections. Arithmetic again would be very, very key to solving, cracking it. Okay. Okay. Gov, yes, it is. You can only buy the study room access. That is also, if you are somebody who already has a good concept coverage, just go for the study room and keep solving. Practice is very, very important. If you, especially you are giving it for the second or third time, just practice like crazy. Okay, so basically what I have given over here is different topic wise sources. So read from Aeon essays, read from Wait But Why. For economics, read from Economist. Smithsonian has a mix of different things from art, culture, literature, everything, and it has very, very good essays written by very good authors. Read them. The New Yorker has a lot of good essays on culture, on popular culture, and would be a very good read also. Scientific American. So what we have seen recently is that you have a lot of essays that come from, or passages that come based on biology, natural sciences, climate change, ecology. Those have become extremely good sources for animal life. These are often asked topics in CAT. So what I would suggest is read from Scientific American, read from National Geographic. The magazine has, there's a magazine and it has a lot of information on climate change, on animal life, on plant life. Very, very good sources for all of these passages. So keep reading from there. So what you should essentially do is go to a essay, try to take a part of the essay and do active reading. The more you often you do that, you will see that every writing has a purpose to it, and you get very good at understanding the purpose of the writing, understanding the meaning, context of the writing. It is very important that you should be able to quickly observe, okay, what is the author trying to say? And it comes only through reading different types of sources. So keep reading from all of these. Also, Arts and Letters Daily, AL Daily, is a site which collates essays. It collates essays written on different sites, from critics, from culture, from different forms. So it's a very good master source of essays as such. So see all of these. Don't read novels. Go to all of these and get in the habit of reading from them. Now also let's go to the next this of how to actually go about getting better. So the resources to use, as I said, read widely from different sources. Do not just go to Aeon, do not just go to The Economist. Read widely. Don't just read your particular interest. Read from different things. So honestly, not many people will read from about languages, about history, or about this. Unless you are a history buff, you won't read history. Unless you are a geography buff, you won't read about geography. But that's the whole point about CAT RCs, that they come from all obscure places. So you should read as widely as possible. The second thing is that what I want you to do is keep taking topic tests or solving 1 RC a day. If you're doing the daily target, that 1 RC practice is enough, but you should be in the habit of doing 1 RC every single day. And lastly, sectionals. Always the third point for everyone is, if you are weak in VARC, please take a VARC sectional. When should you take VARC sectionals? See, normally we have mocks every 2 weeks. So when you have that off week, when there is no mock, you should be taking your sectional on that off weekend. Make sure that you finish all 15 VARC sectionals if you are weak in VARC. Now let's come to DILR, and I'll try to solve more of your questions. Do please post in whatever questions you have, and I'll try to give you the basic gist of how to get better at DILR. See, the thing is that last year what happened was that you had only 5 DILRs, and a lot of people ended up with just solving 1 DILR set, and I know a lot of good students stumbled in CAT because they didn't solve enough sets from DILR. So the thing that you should always concentrate on is learning different types of DILR sets and how to tackle different types of DILR sets. What I generally teach in Krakow is that, see what are the different types of DILR sets. We have enumerated them, we have made different videos on different types of them, and we have told you how to represent the information for each type of DILR set. Visual representation, representation in tables, representation formats help you kind of tackle these sets. These sets basically put like this information overload at you. You have to basically take that information, organize it neatly, draw diagrams. If you have like ranking puzzles, draw nice diagrams saying, okay, Pratik is here, this person is over here, this is over here. So when you start visually representing the information, what was initial information overload becomes like a nicely ordered, organized information. Your point should be that you take information which is unorganized and organize it, and that will only come after you learn how to represent the information. So for each different type of LRDI sets that come, we teach you how to represent information. Organize the information so you can answer the questions. That should be your objective going into your DILR section. Last time there had been 4 sets. You could have easily done 2 of the sets if you knew how to tackle arrangements and puzzles, how to tackle games and tournaments, how to tackle enumeration. If you knew only the first 3, arrangements, puzzle, enumeration, sets, games and tournaments, you would have done okay. Charts again is also a very important thing, because charts generally gives you the easy DILR sets. If you do the charts puzzle, sets well, then you will get the easiest of the 4 right. So always remember, you have to practice from each type of DILR set, know how to represent information for each type of DILR set, and practice and solve from each type of them. Again, here what will help you is that you will, if you solve every single day, if you solve regularly different types of DILR sets, and our study room is actually categorized in different types of sets. So you can solve 1 arrangement set one day, 1 games and tournament set the other day. Keep solving every single day so that you get into the habit of knowing how well are you doing in the different types of sets. Learn to represent each of the sets, organize information and practice different types of sets. That's the only key, very simple key to cracking LRDI. On daily targets in 20 minutes, what should be the next step? Would be my second attempt. It's good, I think, if you are able to solve all the CAT daily targets in 20 minutes, the next step is to make sure that you are able to do that the same thing in your mock attempt. A lot of times under time pressure or under the stress of the exam, you're not able to think clearly during a mock attempts. So you should make sure that you are able to do the same thing in mock attempts. Make sure you have solved, I have given this list of different DILR sets. Make sure you have solved at least 5 of each of these types before CAT. Keep practicing, keep solving from the study room. There are literally hundreds and thousands of sets there. You should have a lot of ample practice before going into CAT exam. See, remember, if you solve 100 sets, you will have a different level of confidence than if you solve 10 sets. If you solve like 1000 sets, you will have a different level of confidence. So solve like a crazy number of sets so that when you're going into CAT, even if they give you 4 sets and you don't have the choice of like mixing any set, even then you have the confidence that no matter what the exam throws at me, I'll be able to solve. Okay, so just solve. If you're able to, if you've already understood how to do the visual representation, just solve. Again, practice, as I said, practice is key. Now, one more thing is that, one thing that I would tell you about LRDI is that you will have an intrinsic order of what you're good at. not everybody is a good thinker in every forms of thinking. For example, I'm very good at arrangements. I think I'm good at organizing information. A lot of people are good at enumeration puzzles. They are able to think of the 5 different cases faster. I'm actually fairly poor at enumeration puzzles because I tend to miss steps or miss cases. So find out what you are personally good at. There will be certain kinds of LRDI sets that you are personally good at. If that type of set comes in CAT, you should be able to solve it. If it comes in any mock, you should be able to solve it. You should have an intrinsic priority order of how to go about the different sets that are given in this, because often knowing how to attempt is also one half of the battle. People see 4 sets, they don't know which one to take first. So I know that if there's a chart based set, I will definitely solve. If there's an arrangement based set, I will definitely solve. If it's a games and tournament set, I'll keep it for later. If it's an enumeration set, I'll keep it for later. So it's important that you should also develop your own priority order for solving on the DILRD. It gives you a sense of control, and if you feel that you're in control, you are also calmer. If you have no priority order, no game plan, then you feel kind of chaotic going into the DILR section, and you can then spend 20 minutes without solving any set. So bring in this sense of control by having this priority order, knowing what you're good at, and then backing yourself up. Okay. Again, have a strategy for each type. Have a strategy of whether you're going to attempt that type or not. So for many times, I don't attempt enumeration type of puzzles because often it happens that enumeration type of puzzle, I miss a step or I miss a case, and then the entire puzzle goes wrong. So know that is this something that you're going to go attempt in the first look through or not. So, and also one more thing that I would actually suggest is that a lot of students say that they don't have enough DILR practice. But if you think of it, each of your mocks that you solve will have like 6 sets or 4 sets of DILR. If you solve every single set from every single mock you give, you will have enough practice. Most of the time when you're giving your mock attempt, you will give 1 out of these 4 or 2 out of these 4 you will actually solve. But once you're done with the mock, go back to the mock. See the ones that you didn't solve. See whether you can now solve them under when you're like calmer, without the tension. Are you able to solve them? So one more thing that I would always stress is that every mock you give, all the DILR sets that are there in the mock should be solved by you, because that is also one way of ensuring that you get good practice and you get wide variety of questions, that you solve from a wide type of questions. A lot of people keep solving arrangement questions again and again, and if they go to CAT and they don't find a single arrangement set, then they get worried. So you should make sure that if you are not able to solve in the actual mock, afterwards you sit and solve whatever you skipped, whatever sets you didn't solve, you solve it after the exam. Every mock, every set that comes from now on till CAT day, I want you to solve every single one of them. Okay. I'll take the last question and then I will close for today. I'm able to solve, I can't study every day with the same energy, and even my dash CAT score was really bad. Pratik, dash CAT score is not your score that you're going to get in your CAT. It doesn't have any weightage. Nobody is going to ask you about your dash CAT 1 score. Why is it there? Why do you have to take the dash CAT? It is there so that you know where you're starting. Whether you're starting at 0.0 or 0.100, you have to go to a 0.1000. So there's a long journey in front of you. So don't get demotivated by your dash CAT 1 score. It just tells you that, okay, these are the areas you have to fix. Now go back to dash CAT 1, see what were the areas of weaknesses. On your mock CAT page, you will be given that, okay, in this section you didn't do well. Your accuracy rate was low, your attempt rate was low. Figure out whatever were the weaknesses, which topic was a weakness. The perseverance that if you show today, you will see that the motivation will come from inside. If you feel that, okay, I didn't do well in this, but I won't let it repeat. You should go back and see whatever you did poorly in, and then you should make sure that it does not repeat in dash CAT 2. So you say that, okay, I was not able to solve questions on profit and loss. I'll at least make sure that whatever profit and loss question comes in dash CAT 2, I'll be able to solve. So this thing that is there in my weakness column will go to my strengths column for sure. Your whole point should be that instead of taking negative feedback as some kind of failure, you should take it as what it is. It is feedback. It is areas that you need to work on, and you should keep on striking off those areas, turning those weaknesses into strengths. Do not get it is not a marks that tell you your ability or your value. They are not there to pass judgment on what you are capable of. those marks, that feedback is what you have to focus on, what you have to improve on. So don't get demotivated. You have a lot of work to do in front of you. This is just the start. Take each one of those failures as stepping stones. Take each one of those as lessons that you have to work on. The point is that nothing is going to come easy. You have to work hard for every single thing. Okay, so don't be disappointed. You have a lot of time. Just keep at it. Keep working. Okay, it was good to have all of you guys here, and so many of you guys asked so many questions, and I'm good to see. It's good to see so many people are taking CAT very seriously, are taking their performance to heart. This is how you improve. Okay, you have to take it seriously. You have to take. You have to make it count. Okay, so I want you guys to go back, do the plan, right? Take the printout, put up it in your study area, and take the right steps towards cracking CAT. And I'm sure all of you are going to crack CAT on come D-Day. So thank you all of you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining in. And those who are looking for a structured way to prepare for CAT, please do check out 7th month batch. It started today and you can still join it. And it basically tells you what you have to read, what you have to see, what questions you have to solve. It's basically CAT course structured in a way that you have to just put in regular effort every single day, and you will definitely cover everything, practice, solve a lot of questions, so that you don't have to think, what do I need to do today? Okay, so do check out our batch, and I hope that it helps you. Thank you very much.